Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is going MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. And unfortunately, guys, we did just found out just minutes ago that Dee Woodson would not be with us tonight. We're definitely thinking about you, Dee. Please get some rest, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night for the recap of SummerSlam. But yeah, this was amazing. This will be a night to remember wherever you are in the wrestling world. So we started off as usual with SmackDown Live, and we started off with an in-ring promo by the Rated R superstar Edge, basically talking about his match and the battle that he's got coming up against Seth Rollins tomorrow night at SummerSlam from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I gotta say it, this was a powerful promo by Edge. You guys have said it all the time, guys. Angry Edge is the best Edge, and he was playing that card tonight. And oh my word, very strong, very powerful, really, really, really good to start the show. Anthony Florio, I got to say it, Edge really was amazing, to say the very least. So it's yours.
Angry Edge is always the best Edge, and you're absolutely right, MF. I mean, wow. Still one of the best promos in the business, and he killed it here. Even if the material was a little disappointing, to be honest with you. I mean, the promo would have had a greater effect had we not heard something similar just a few months earlier prior to WrestleMania. Then Edge credited Daniel Bryan with making him revert to his Rated R ways and made similar claims to what he did here. And we all know what happened that night. He lost, humbled by Roman, as he was stacked along with Bryan and pinned in the most definitive finish in the history of professional wrestling. So why should fans be quick to believe that all the threats and disturbing close-ups of the Rated R superstar spells doom for Rollins? If anything, shouldn't the architect suddenly feel more confident, given the last time someone elicited that sort of emotion from Edge? He was beaten in that embarrassing fashion. There's probably a fair amount of overthinking in that logic, and WWE routinely repeats the same stories, promos, and angles, but still, it was so relatively fresh that it really does make one wonder how that made it past the creative team. But he is still one of the best promos. I mean, I love the face that he made at the end. That was one of the best angry faces I've ever seen, and I loved it. And that definitely got me a little more excited for the match tomorrow. But what happened later in the night, oh, that's all there is to say. So Michael Bullock, Phenom, come on in. Now that we've all had our little cool down moment from that emotional high we had about an hour ago, which we'll address in a little while, but it's all yours, man, if you're ready.
Oh yes, I'm definitely ready. Yeah, I thought this was a really good promo there by Edge. I mean, obviously, hyping up his match against Seth Rollins tomorrow night at SummerSlam. Yeah, I mean, I could have expected more, but still, I mean, when he gets into that angry tone, the promo always is really good. And come on, Florio, what do we always say? What do you always say when it comes to Angry Edge?
Angry Edge is always the best Edge.
Yeah, damn right about that. And that's what we got here. So, and that's not the last you'll see of Edge. We'll get into it later on during this recap. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move right along on this historic night.
Yeah, and then we start off with the first fight of the evening, as it was Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso wins the match in 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Anthony Florio, at one point, everything was going down, and then it broke down, especially towards the end, where Dominic made a mistake, made a slip up, got thrown out of the match, and that opened the door for Jey to get the big win.
But to me, this was the fight of the night, hands down. I got to give this about 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Great matchup here, no doubt about it. I mean, there were so many great spots, great near falls, and definitely raises the excitement level a little bit for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match tomorrow night. And we've seen so many of these Mysterio Uso matches that they're starting to lose their effect a little. Of course, the in-ring action was amazing, as one would expect considering the talent involved. But the real takeaway here, though, was what led to the finish. Dominic has been second-guessing Rey of late, and his attempt at an underhanded victory only further suggests that a split between father and son is coming in the very near future, maybe as early as tomorrow night. Whether it is too early for that, given the fact that they were just best buddies as tag team champions as late as 3 months ago, is a question that will be answered as the story progresses. But still a great match, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. This was the fight of the night, hands down. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. This was definitely the fight of the night here. I mean, the action was definitely pretty good. I mean, what else would you expect when you got the two really good wrestlers in Rey and Jey Uso with the body of work they have, and the near falls were really good, and yeah, it definitely adds some intriguement going into this into the SmackDown Tag Team title match tomorrow night. So yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. Fletch, all I can say is Jey Uso picked up some huge momentum for the Usos going into tomorrow's SmackDown Tag Team title match, as I hand it off to you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's just going to be one of those situations where Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso definitely has the cohesion. They got the momentum. They got everything else. You can tell and you can feel it that they're going to split the Mysterios up. Dominic is thinking that his father's holding him down. You know, it gets so much talk about everything that you hear about. You know, there's so much that he gets, and it's like, I can do this. I know I can do this, and I feel like his theory is going to be that you're holding me back, Dad. You're trying to be something that you're not anymore. Yes, you're one of the greatest. Yes, you're first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes, everybody in Lucha Libre considers you as a legend. But I need to be my own man now. And I can't do that when you're trying. And it's one of those where I think Dominic is going to snap at Rey. At some point, he's going to say enough is enough. And I think it could happen tomorrow night, guys. I really do think that we could see father and son imploding at Allegiant in Vegas. It's very possible. So I want to see how this plays out. And it's going to be very interesting. So, yeah, it is the best match of the evening, no doubt about it. And it was about 3 stars. So we're going to move right on along. Next up we had was Baron Corbin versus Kevin Owens. The fight ends in a no contest because Big E showed up to try to get the Money in the Bank match. Automatic throw out. We're not even going to that's an automatic NA when a match doesn't even get an actual result. So we'll just move on along. Next, we had Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox versus Tamina and Natalya. Natalya returning from injury. She was only gone for a few weeks. It was an ankle injury that she suffered on Monday Night Raw due to Doudrop. She comes back. Thank God. I think it was a sprain and not a tear. Thank God for that. But Knox and Shotzi do get the win at 2 minutes and 54 seconds. This was a contenders match. Therefore, now that does cement them as number one contenders. Maybe the titles tomorrow night at SummerSlam, guys. I haven't heard anything official, but we'll wait and see how that plays out. Then we had Seth Rollins cutting a promo. Edge showed up, and then Michael Bullock, They called it a brood bath. We call it a blood bath, but oh my goodness, what a segment.
And you even heard the old Brood theme
Yeah.
at that moment, and you saw Edge, and oh my gosh, that was, man. I mean, Edge. You could just say, I don't know about you guys, but I think Edge looked a little more scarier when he showed up on the screen, and then Seth Rollins, man, oh man, you fell victim to one of the biggest things that we have seen when it came to the Brood, and it was a bloodbath. Oh man, you thought, Florio, you thought Angry Edge was bad. This was a darker side of Edge that we saw in this segment, and I think, guys, Seth Rollins may have awakened something in Edge that I don't know he wants to deal with come tomorrow night. So this was a really good segment, and Fletch, I don't know about you, but Seth Rollins may have awoken something that he probably wished he hadn't have done.
Well,
It's yours, Fletch.
Well, I'll say this. This was one of the best segments for me, man. I mean, yes, I know we're going to be talking about something even bigger that was probably the moment of the year in professional wrestling. But I mean, to see Edge harken back to the Brood days, early 1999 era. I mean, this was freaking awesome, man. The bloodbath, seeing that happen in the middle of the ring. I mean, it was so epic, and it was awesome, and I enjoyed it. And I mean, there's really nothing more even for me to add here. This was just a great segment. I don't think there's anything else that we can say. This was amazing. So, Anthony, it is all yours. For me, this was the segment of the night. This stole the whole damn show.
Amen to that. He certainly did. And admit it, when you heard that Brood music, guys, when you heard that Brood music, didn't you think for 1 minute Gangrel was going to show up?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I thought so.
What about you, Bullock? Didn't you think Gangrel was going to show up when you heard that Brood music? I thought he was.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like thinking, no way, is Gangrel going to show up?
I thought so too. I mean, I given their history, I mean, I thought for sure he was going to show up, but no, he didn't. And we ended up getting that black bloodbath. I mean, wow. I mean, conjured up some memories and then some. I mean, conjured up memories of the Brood and the Attitude Era and the whole 9 yards. I mean, wow. What a moment. And there are some who may not have liked that, but for us, it was definitely a nice throwback moment, a nostalgic moment here to see that. I mean, it takes us back to the days when the Brood were giving bloodbaths to anybody. And man, I mean, definitely brought back a lot of memories to see that. And Pat McAfee on commentary, he sold that son of a gun very well, saying, "What the hell just happened?" Yeah, he sold that thing perfectly. And you know why? He has been such a breath of fresh air on commentary over the last few months. And that's all there is to say on that. So segment of the night, I 100% agree. Oh boy, the excitement level for the match just definitely went up sky high. No doubt about that. And you thought the segments tonight stole the damn show? The match tomorrow night could very easily steal the show, and we'll get more into that later on. But there isn't much more to say. MF, let's move on to whatever's next on this docket.
Next up was Montez Ford versus Otis. Otis wins the match in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. We don't really need to talk about that. We'll just move right on along. After that, it was Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Apollo Crews and General Aziz. And Rick Boogs wins it for the team in 3 minutes and 1 second. I'm gonna say this. The match was nowhere near 5-star caliber. No, I'm not even going to do that. But for Rick Boogs, for him to be in the ring and for him to have his I guess you could say this was his first official match on the main roster for WWE. Very impressive. His power, what he was doing, the shtick with the guitar thing. Look, I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Boogs will be, if you give him the opportunity, I think he could run with this. I mean, to pair him up with Nakamura looked amazing. And especially when he was going up against General Aziz, I mean, you want to talk about chopping him down to size and doing everything that he did. This was amazing. This was well done, well worked more than anything else. So solid matches. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So I'm not going to give it a rating because the match was a little short for my liking. But Anthony Florio, give credit where credit's due. I mean, we kind of were like, I don't know about Rick Boogs, but I'm going to tell you, within 30 seconds, he already had me sold.
Boogs is over and hella entertaining, but it will be interesting to see if he can back it up between the ropes. This was a fine first showing, but they kept it both simple and short for him. The answer to the question will be more apparent the more he gets the opportunity to compete. Remember back to the beginning of the year when now as far as Mr. Cruz goes, remember back to the beginning of the year when Apollo Crews felt like one of the breakout stars of 2021 thanks to a heel turn and a strong feud with Big E over the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship? I don't. It feels like an eternity ago, as he and Commander Aziz are very clearly on their way out of prominence on SmackDown. Never was that more apparent than tonight when Crews was decisively defeated by a guy wrestling his first match on the main roster. Oh, how the mighty have fallen as far as Apollo Crews is concerned. So, but a fine first showing for Rick Boogs and Michael Bullock. The question going forward is the answer to the question will be more apparent the more he gets the opportunity to compete. Fine first showing for Rick Boogs.
What did you give the rating?
No rating.
Yeah, it was a no rating for me, but I'll tell you what, Rick Boogs definitely. I mean, he looks really good in his first match. I mean, you definitely got to give him some props here. I mean, yeah. So I thought it was a good first showing for him. So yeah, I really got nothing more to say. Let's move right along, Fletch.
All right, then we had a 2-for-1 matches. It was Bianca Belaire, and she first fought Zelina Vega. She dispatches Zelina Vega in 2 minutes. Then she fought Carmella and beats Carmella in 4 minutes. Look, showcase Anthony for this was a showcase fight for Bianca Belaire. A lot of momentum going into her championship fight against Sasha Banks. However, that match is on the back burner. We don't know if this match is even happening tomorrow night.
Oh, it is. It is. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. A dirt sheet came out a couple of days ago saying that the match has been cleared and it's going to happen. You can calm down, MF. You don't have to worry about a thing.
All right.
I mean, they're still promoting it, because
even up to the last hour, and I'm hearing from Fightful.com that it might not be as clear cut as you think it is, Florio. So I mean, this is coming from Sean Ross Sapp. So I mean, so that's why there's been a little bit of a trepidation, especially as it leads to the match. But if you're saying it's happening, I'm not gonna, I'd rather have clarified sources from you, Florio. Where did you get yours?
Of course, but in theory, strengthening your women's champ the night before a title defense is a great idea. However, when it comes at the expense of 2 of the only remaining potential challengers to her title, thus devaluing the division as a whole, not so much. Belaire has now beaten Vega and Carmella so often that the idea of them presenting a credible challenge to her title is non-existent. Who does that leave outside of Sasha Banks? Toni Storm, who has not been seen since debuting back in July. Liv Morgan, who has been conspicuous in her absence in Money in the Bank. Shotzi and Nox, who are busy chasing tag team gold. or current tag team champions Natalya and Tamina. All would be great challengers and present a fresh matchup, but WWE does not seem inclined to head in that direction, making the usage of the talent that is on TV every week that much more questionable. So I'm not really going to give a rating on the matches because I don't really know how to rate them. So that's all there is for me to say on that. So Michael Bullock, we talked about it earlier. The match is fine. I don't think MF has anything to worry about. Do you?
I don't think so. I mean, because I heard some rumors that both of them had been cleared, but let's wait until we get up to match time or till the day of the pay-per-view before we. But I still believe in my heart of hearts. I think it's going to go down because, we're all looking forward to this rematch. I mean, if you have this match along with the other matches, this could be a really good pay-per-view. But if you take this match out, oh man, that'll drop down the ratings of the show just a little bit. But let's all wait and find out. But I still believe in my heart of hearts. I think it's going to go down, but we'll wait and see. Fletch, it's yours.
All right. Like I said, I've been reading some articles that contradicts both you guys, but I'm not gonna get all fired up and everything else. I'm just gonna leave it at that, and we'll just go right into what was undoubtedly the final part of the show, which was the promo segment, John Cena and Roman Reigns, the final face-off before the Universal title match. And Anthony, it is all yours.
Actually, MF, this was the segment of the night right here. John Cena and Roman Reigns have killed it this summer with these promos, thanks in large part to how naturally they come off. Perhaps it is the leeway they are given as trusted main event stars or their ability to adjust on the fly, but their promos are so much more engaging than the majority of the scripted schlock elsewhere. Did they need to go the route of introducing the Reigns stipulation? No, because it all but kills any suspense surrounding the match. He's not going anywhere. That much we know. Regardless, the match is going to be awesome because Reigns and Cena can will it there out of sheer desire. Reigns will win, Cena will go away, and WWE's top star will be stronger for it. Whether the company has anyone strong enough in their own right to step up and challenge him in the wake of the event is the real question. So, fantastic segment, absolutely. And the segment of the night. But Michael Bullock, as I give it to you, once Roman dropped that stipulation, that just killed the suspense of the match. Now we know who's going to win now for sure.
Yeah, when I heard well, first off, this was the segment of the night as far as I'm concerned, and yeah, when I heard the stipulation, what Roman Reigns dropped, I think that pretty much gave it all away. And part of me was like, wait a minute, WWE, are you literally trying to say that Roman's going to go over here? Because that's what it looks like they're telling us. And, well, even though I think when we do give our predictions, we're going to say, but I think we're all in agreement here. I think Roman's is going to win this one and retain. And like you said, I think Cena's going to go away for a while. So, yeah, so segment of the night, but Fletch, man, I think WWE just gave away the outcome of the match.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was bad WWE. That was not what you didn't need to do that. You did not need to pull that extra card out. There was no need for the extra card. Because the whole time going up, there was thoughts that maybe Roman goes over, but there was some considerable chance, and there was some people talking that there's a good shot that Cena might go over here. There was some people that was thinking Cena's gonna get the 17, but then you throw that card out saying, oh, if I don't walk out of Allegiant with the belt, I'm done. I mean, I don't know about that. That, even for me, that seemed a little far-fetched.
I think they dropped the Morocco Mole whoopsie on this one.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that.
And I'll admit it. I'll admit to you, Fletch. I mean, before this, I was thinking maybe John Cena has a chance to maybe break the record, but after this, I think we're all in agreement that this is not going to happen now. Reigns is going to go over because WWE just gave it away. I mean,
yeah.
Seriously, WWE, you could have kept the suspense by not doing this.
Yeah, bad move. Bad move. But that's a
you idiot moment.
Yeah, because the thing is that you already had us with suspense. You had us all the way up to that point. Like, we were excited. We were jacked up. We were like, oh my God, Cena, Roman, title on the line, Allegiant, SummerSlam. It's got the makings of being an epic fight. And then you threw that, and we're like, oh, no, WWE. That was the last thing you needed to do. That was a mistake. That was a bad move.
I'll even admit it now, Fletch. I think the match just lost some of its luster because of this.
I don't know if it did or not. I will say this.
Completely, but maybe
it makes us. It now makes us feel like, well, now we know what the outcome's going to be. Going into it, I think we were thinking, I don't know, maybe could they do the unthinkable? Could they put Cena, give him that 17th reign? Now you take that out of the equation. You do, and it doesn't help. That was a bad move. Horrible move by WWE. They made a major blunder here tonight, and they're gonna regret that decision. They're gonna regret it because that's something that you just can't do. You did not need to add that extra stipulation. You didn't need to do that. I'll say this: it's gonna be interesting to see. So, all right, overall review, I'll lead it off. I gotta say this was a 6 out of 10. And the thing is what the reason why I'm giving it 6 out of 10 is because there's no fault with the show. The show was fine, but you had too many short matches, too many matches that had anything to do with the SummerSlam card, except for maybe a couple of matches. And at the end of the day, the segments itself, go out of your way to watch all of it. All the promo segments, backstage, whatever, watch all of it. It is must-see TV tonight. That's without a doubt one of the highlights that WWE has. When it comes to SmackDown, storyline progression has always been the rule of the roost for SmackDown Live. And once again, tonight, SmackDown Live made an incredible closing argument promo-wise when it comes to SummerSlam tomorrow night. They absolutely nailed this. In-ring, not great. I'll openly admit that. Even as a SmackDown guy, I will openly admit. In-ring action, not so great. Wrestling-wise, tremendous. Promo-wise, tremendous. Maybe the best I've seen promo-wise in this road to SummerSlam by far. I mean, there's really nothing more to add. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 for this. The promos, MF said it, the promo segments, and I'll even give you Rey Mysterio and Jey Uso. Go out of your way to see that match as well. Definitely go out of your way to see the promo segments. Everything else you can skip. And that's really all there is to say. So 6 out of 10. Michael Bullock, take this home before we get into what ended up being one of the most memorable moments in wrestling history in a long time.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 for me. I mean, the Rey Mysterio Jey Uso match was it was a good match. I mean, no doubt about it. It was our fight of the night here, and the promos were also good. Everything else was pretty much that, but I mean, the only downside, of the one segment was obviously, as we just mentioned, WWE basically just gave away the outcome. To me, that was a bad move there, as you said, Fletch. That was a bad move. That was a Morocco Mo whoopsie moment, a Ren and Stimpy you idiot moment. I mean, yes, yeah, that was a bad move on their end. So 6 out of 10 for me. So Fletch, all I can say is let's get on to AEW Rampage, and oh boy, this started off with a bang, and I mean a real big bang.
It started off with the return of CM Punk. Punk is back. Punk is all elite. The rumors were true. The rumors that he was heading to AEW were true. We were waiting for the moment. We knew it was coming. We didn't know when. They decided to pull the trigger tonight on the first dance. AEW Rampage Chicago, the UC, the United Center, the home of the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks. And they gave us a moment in wrestling history. We will remember August 20th, 2021 as the day professional wrestling has risen once again. Oh man, I mean, it was everything you expected it. The fans were hoping for it, and they got the payoff. The crowd went nuts. Tears in the eyes of many people. Derek Ferreira, absolutely going ballistic. We were just letting the moment sink in. I think that was the key word. We were letting the moment sink in for all of us. And it changes the game as we know it. CM Punk cuts a promo, does a little story time for us, and talked about, how when he left professional wrestling was the last time where he cried, and that was the day that he left. And it wasn't because of back then. He went back and harkened back to Ring of Honor days. That caught me off guard. Did not expect them to talk about Ring of Honor. But that was the period of time when he left from 2005 to 2021. So that basically was his time where he literally kind of was like, I was in professional wrestling, and there's that gaping hole. And that was that WWE era. And that really left, that was an eye-opener. Well, not really an eye-opener, but it put into context what he was talking about. And he talked about that if he ever let anybody down or felt disappointed or anything else, that you have to understand that he was going through so much back in the day of WWE. And yeah, I will openly admit it. WWE really, really did a major disservice to CM Punk, especially during that time with the staph infection and still making him wrestle with that staph infection where he was in really bad shape, guys, for a number of years. And it almost was one of those type of moments where you just you kind of have to put the blinders off and kind of have to open your eyes to the horizon of what was really going on. He took us into something that I think none of us thought, but he unveiled that velvet rope for us, and we're eternally grateful he did. Now we see what's really been going on. And yeah, if you're a fan of CM Punk, this is your night. This is your moment. The voice of the voiceless is now speaking. And he had his sights set. And he talked about how he wants to go up against, he's got a few grudges with some guys in the back. He can't wait to settle them with. And that he was excited for some of the talent that he's going to get to face off against, the younger talent. And oddly enough, the first one was hanging in the rafters. Sting and Darby Allen overlooking where CM Punk was. And it looks like they have now made it. And it looks like this is official now, folks. Darby Allen versus CM Punk at All Out in about 3 weeks' time back in Chicago. It won't be in the United Center this time. I think it's in the Sears Theater or the Sears Arena where they've done their traditional all-in, all-out events. But they're going to be in Chicago, and Punk will compete for the first time since wrestling for WWE, the most highly anticipated return in wrestling history when Punk goes one-on-one with Darby Allen. I mean, there's really nothing more to add. Segment of the night, the biggest moment in AEW's history, and without a doubt, the segment of 2021. I don't think you can get any more better than what we got here tonight. This was without a doubt the greatest moment in this is the biggest coup for AEW. Without a doubt. Yeah, they've had some big names, but you were able to land CM Punk. I mean, do you know how many companies or how many wrestling organizations in the world that's been trying to get Punk to join that federation? And you got him? They're right. It's a game changer right before our very eyes. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
The pop. Hello. The pop. Yowza. All right. Before I give my analysis and the whole 9 yards. All three of us have been watching professional wrestling for 30 or so years, or maybe even more. We've heard a lot. We have heard several big pops in our lives. We have. But I can honestly say that pop tonight was the biggest and greatest pop in the history of professional wrestling, bar none. Like MF said on the legendary Strictly Sports show we did on June 7th of 2013 when the Bruins beat the Penguins to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, he said it. He said it then, and I'm going to say it now. A night to remember, a moment to remember, and that's exactly what this was. I mean, oh my goodness. I'm still on an adrenaline high after all that. I mean, I was marking, I was freaking out, and I was this close to bouncing around like friggin' Tigger. That's how friggin' excited I was, man. I mean, oh my God, that was, oh my word. But all kidding aside, what can you say about this segment that won't be said a million times? CM Punk's return felt like a huge moment because that's exactly what it was. AEW was smart to get his arrival out of the way immediately so the fans were not just chanting his name all night through everybody's matches. Confirming his first match for the all-out pay-per-view against Darby Allen was the icing on the cake. You don't have to be a CM Punk fan to recognize how important this moment was for both AEW and the professional wrestling business as a whole. We don't even need to wait until our year-end awards, because if there is a moment of the year category, this is it. This is it, hands down. Nothing's going to come even close to this. Nothing. Before this, I probably would have said John Cena when he returned that Money in the Bank last month. But this put that moment to shame and then some. I mean, you know, Bullock and I talked a little earlier, and we said if this happened, that pop that he got at the Money in the Bank in 2011 was going to be overshadowed. And, oh, yeah, this just overshadowed the Money in the Bank 2011, hands down. Man, I mean, we'll always remember August 20th, 2021, the night CM Punk made his debut in AEW, the game changer, the first missile shot. You saw there was a brief shot of a gentleman crying. I think that's exactly how Derek Ferreira was at that moment. So
poor dude became a meme right before our very eyes too. That crying fan. Sorry to say, but he became a meme tonight.
Like the crying Jordan meme, and of course this one. He kind of it was almost like that infamous "It's still real to me, damn it" fan. That legendary that infamous "It's still real to me, damn it" guy. That became a viral sensation as well. So, but yeah, I know Derek Ferreira wasn't the only one crying. That's for sure. A certain young lady that is a member of Michael Bullock's family. He's got a younger cousin. Her name is Tori Dakotas, and I know when I give it to Bullock, I know he's going to probably mention it. Because we all know that young lady is a CM Punk fan. We all know that. Bullock told us, and then she confirmed it when we got to meet her for the first time a few years ago during one of our legendary group outings. But anyways, I don't know what else there is to say. That's not going to be said a million, billion, gazillion times already. The internet broke. Social media broke. We were going nuts in our messenger chat. Derek Ferreira posted it on his Facebook, and you know, I jumped in on it. Bullock jumped in on it. Even our good friend Rob Parsons jumped in on it. I mean, this is a night that is going to be remembered for many, many years to come. So, wow. That's all there is to say on that. So Michael Bullock, Phenom, as I give it to you, I don't think you'll ever hear a bigger pop in professional wrestling history than that one tonight. That was the biggest pop in the history of professional wrestling. And I'm also very curious. Have you gotten in touch with your cousin Tori since that big moment? And if so, what is she freaking out like all of us are right about now?
Oh, I did get in touch with her, and yeah, no doubt about it. She was freaking out, and I sent her all the pictures on her messenger of CM Punk is all elite, and even the entrance when he came out with that crowd popping. I mean, and yeah, that. What can you say, guys? This is a moment that we're never gonna forget. CM Punk is officially all elite. We've heard the rumors. We've heard we've heard everything, and it's all come to fruition. CM Punk is all elite. That crowd went nuts, and I saw that fan basically cry. I'm sure there were a lot of CM Punk fans that were crying, and I mean, many people thought that this day would never happen, but it's happened. He's back, and yeah, and he basically got some things off his chest, and talking about the last time he wrestled was in Ring of Honor in 2005, and I was like, holy smokes! I mean, was this him firing the shot at WWE? And I'm with you, Fletch. I mean, the way WWE treated him, I mean, it was a major disservice. And when he had that staph infection, they continued to make him wrestle. And that was completely unfair. And I think that's what ultimately led to CM Punk walking out on WWE. And he was literally done with their crap. He was done with their nonsense. And he talked about professional wrestling in general. So I'll tell you, WWE right now has got to be shaking in their boots, and that might not be the first death blow to them. There could be another one coming. But yeah, this is definitely a major moment we're never going to forget. And like I said, my cousin basically went nuts when I messaged her that CM Punk is in AEW. And for those of you that don't, know it, Florio, you and Fletch know everything. I told you everything about it when it comes to her. She became a CM Punk fan, I think it was in the late 2000s. And she, for some reason, she really liked it, and she started collecting everything from those stand-up cardboards. There was one stand-up cardboard of CM Punk, all the T-shirts, and there was this one time that I went to a Monday Night Raw, and it was the night after Survivor Series 2008, and CM Punk was wrestling that night, and she actually held a sign that said CM Punk is Punkalicious, and CM Punk actually saw the sign and actually acknowledged it, and I was literally standing there shocked that he actually acknowledged it, and she was damn sure excited about it, just like I'm sure she was definitely excited about this. But yeah, CM Punk and Darby Allen at All Out, all I can say is sign me up for it, because that's got a potential to be a show stealer, no doubt about it, based on the body of work of CM Punk and Darby Allen. So, and you don't have to wait long to see CM Punk again, because he's going to make his first appearance on AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. So I know we always do our awards like we do at the end of the year, but hands down, this is the moment of the year, no doubt. This is a moment that we all thought would never happen, but CM Punk is back, and I'm so freaking excited about it. Fletch, as I give it to you, this is a night we are never, ever going to forget.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. All right, guys, we're going to have to try to speed things up a little bit because we still got a lot to cover. So next up we have is the semifinal of the Contenders Tournament for the AEW World Tag Team titles. The winners will get to fight the Young Bucks inside of a steel cage at All Out. It was Jurassic Express versus the Private Party. Jurassic Express wins the match in 10 minutes and 5 seconds. Anthony Floyo, it's yours.
Fight of the night, 3 to 3.25 stars, maybe even 3.5. Look at this match and then go back and compare it to the first time we saw either team in AEW. Both duos have grown by leaps and bounds over the past 2 years. Private Party has refined their offense and appear more confident and smooth in the ring. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus have always had great chemistry, but now they also have some great tandem offense. High-flying moves all look great, and this match was paced well to build up toward the finish. Crowd was into it, gave them a great reaction. Strong work from everyone involved. 3.25 to 3.5 stars. And gentlemen, all I can say is I think you're looking at the next number one contenders, and I'm also going to go on the record and say I think you're looking at the next AEW World Tag Team Champions.
I hope so. Oleg, it's yours.
Yeah, I hope so too. 3.25 stars. I mean, this was definitely a really good match. I mean, yeah, and I think you're looking at the team that's going to challenge the Young Bucks, and I'll even say it. I think that's going to dethrone the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team title reign, and I think we all hope so because of a certain person I can't stand, and you know where I'm going with that. So nothing else to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no, solid match. 3 stars, fight of the night. Really nothing more to add. So next up we had was Jay Cargill versus Kyra Hogan. Jay Cargill finishes the match in 1 minute and 1 second. We don't really need to get into this. Look, for all the great things AEW has done, and I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this. Kyra Hogan has no business being in AEW. I'm sorry. She should have stayed in Impact Wrestling.
Amen.
She was a great wrestler, a two-time Impact World Tag Team Champion.
They had a great thing going. She had a great thing going with Tasha Steelz as part of Fire and Flavor. Absolutely. Yeah. I can vouch for that. I'm an Impact tonight.
And I get it. You're trying to build a division. You're trying to make it better. But you literally buried her. She hasn't even looked good in any of the matches she's been in.
Not at all.
First fight, I think, was against Hikaru Shida.
Huh? Yeah. You really think they were going to put her over her? No way.
Against Hikaru Shida. Other one, it was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Oh, my Lord.
She fought against her. And this
Drop her to the stars.
Yeah.
Drop her to the stars.
Now you give her Jade Cargill? I mean, AEW, look, for all the good that you've been doing, there's been a couple of moments where I've gotten a little irritated with your booking. And don't get me wrong, you're nowhere near WWE. Like when you're booking, okay, maybe something slips through the cracks once in a rare while. There's a couple of moments where I've gone after you for questionable stuff. Oh, God forbid I don't make God forbid if I don't say anything nice about AEW. What? For one Colin Pickett minute, let me be real with you guys. There's certain things that I love about your product. You are definitely leaps and bounds and light years ahead of WWE right now. But there's a couple of things, a couple of nitpicks here and there that you guys sometimes piss me the hell off. And this is one of them. Now, I get it. Jade is a big star. Jade is going to be a problem. Jade is a threat. And Dr. Britt Baker, you're going to have your hands full with Jade Cargill if she becomes the number one contender. And let me tell you, she's rising up that rankings and she's flying up there. So at the end of the day, there's certain things that I liked and certain things I didn't like. This is one of those that just left a bitter taste in the mouth. And I really wished that Kyra Hogan, and she's amazing. She's a great talent.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to say it. This moment is too big for her. She just can't. There's no need for her to be here. Not in AEW.
Agreed.
And I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you're being cynical." No, I'm being real.
Real recognizing real, baby.
That's the
thing.
Yeah,
and I'll go on the record of saying this. I think AEW dropped the ball on this one. I mean,
no.
She had no business being.
No, it wasn't AEW. It was Kyra. I mean, she had a great thing going in Impact, and she gave that all up. She was a big fish in a small pond in Impact. Now she's a small fish in a big pond here.
Yeah, and I get it. Kyra wants to elevate herself. She wants to move on.
That's fine.
Which is fine. But
Absolutely,
the thing is that there's different levels, and there's different levels to the hierarchy when it comes to professional wrestling. And I'm going to be real honest with you, I could see her succeed in AAA, in Reina de Reinas. I could see her in the Women of Honor, in Ring of Honor. I could see her do that. I just don't think she has what it takes to make it in AEW or WWE. She's not there yet. She's not there.
She should have gone back to Impact Wrestling.
That's what we've been saying, Bullock.
For the state.
That's what we've been saying.
Yeah, it was just, and if she thinks she's going to get anywhere in AEW, then you're just sadly mistaken. And you know what?
I don't see it. At this point right now,
and if Jericho wants to come after me on this, I don't give a damn.
No. Wait. First off, Forever will probably agree with us on this one. I think Ferrero will agree with us on this one. The thing is, and I'm really going to be cynical, they made her into a freaking enhancement talent. That's what it is.
Agree.
AKA Job of the Stars.
Yeah. And that's not her.
No.
That's not who she is.
Far better.
And they talked about it. Oh, she's a great tag team wrestler. Well, no doubt, no shit, dipshit. She is a great tag team wrestler. She was a freaking 2-time Knockouts tag team champion, for heaven's sake.
Fire and flavor, Tasha Steelz, man.
So
absolutely,
there are certain wrestlers who are meant for the tag team division, and there's certain wrestlers that could probably make it on their own as a singles act. Kyra Hogan right now is better in the tag team division, but you don't have a tag team division in AEW right now. And the problem is that is going to hurt. And the thing is that if you're going to build her up, you don't throw her against the top elite of the division. You don't put her in the ring with a Nyla Rose. You don't put her in the ring against a Hikaru Shida. You don't put her in the ring against a Dr. Britt Baker. You don't put her in the ring against a Ty Conti. That's going to be accident waiting to happen. That's going to be a disaster that you're building. And God bless her for doing what she's doing. I'm sorry. Get out. I don't understand, unless it's for the money, but even that, not this.
In other words, get out while you still have your reputation.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if I'm being extra hypocritical and downright evil and mean, but facts is facts. I've seen Kyra in Impact. She's amazing.
As have I, and I agree with you.
Florio. And what I've seen from her wrestling in AEW to where she was in Impact, it's leaps and bounds different. And I feel so bad for her right now. I do.
As do I.
Because she doesn't deserve this.
Amen.
She does not deserve this.
Amen, brother. Amen.
And anybody who might say, "Oh, but you're being a little hard." No, go and watch those Impact matches. Go and watch Impact when she was the tag team champion, and you tell me if it's a difference between night and day, because there's a major difference, a big difference.
Amen, brother.
Allow me to get off my high horse. I apologize for.
No, don't be sorry, man.
For going on that rant. But I just...
no need to be sorry, Flex.
That's not the good old MF side. That's the Cerebral Viper side right there.
All right. Main event, Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. Moxley wins the match in 4 minutes and 4 seconds. I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So, Bullock, it's yours.
Oh, what was the time of the fall?
4:04.
Yeah, this was too short, but obviously because of the time from the CM Punk promo, they obviously had to maybe shorten some of the matches. I mean, it was fine for what it was, but I'll give it about maybe 1.5 to 2 for the effort. So I really got nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours. And you know what? I don't think you can blame these two for having a short match, but I just think it's because of that. The long promo we had with CM Punk, it really cut them short on time.
It did, and there's no doubt about it. They were scrambling pretty fast. It was a fast finish. If it was given the necessary time, like we would get, I think this match would have been even better. It is a little bit of a disappointment. I don't even know if the fans were really into this fight though, and that's shocking because. When you talk about Chicago, IWC capital of the world, I think they might have been a little pooped out. I think the hype and the excitement from the CM Punk might have left this one a little flatter than usual, because I'll openly admit it. The first 30 minutes were amazing, but you could tell, I think there was a little bit of fatigue starting to set in the crowd of Chicago, especially at the end of the night. The Jay Cargill fight and even this one, it failed to meet expectations in my eyes. So, yeah, I 1.5. You're being very generous, Mike Bullock. I'm going to give this 1.25. And Anthony, it's yours.
But considering they had less than 10 minutes to work with, Mox and Garcia did an excellent job making sure everything they did made sense and looked good. Garcia is one of those technical wizards who was going to earn a lot of fans quickly, but he was never going to win this match. This was all about Mox. Simple as that. So 1 to 1.25 stars is the correct rating for this. So there isn't much more to say. Let's put the bow on this.
This is one of those weird nights. Without a doubt, the CM Punk moment was great. The first fight of the evening, the tag team match between Jurassic Express and the Private Party was excellent. But then after that, it kind of lost its momentum. I hate to say this, but I'm not going to say it ran off a cliff. It didn't do that. But this was a lot more bumpier than the fans are going to admit it. And I know a lot of people are going to talk about how the CM Punk thing is going to be the thing that's going to be, and rightfully so, deserves to be the highlight of the night. But if you're talking about the show as a whole, 7 out of 10. I'm sorry. I got to be, again, I got to be a little, you got to incorporate everything. And I'm sorry. The last 2 fights did not do anything for me whatsoever. I enjoyed the CM Punk moment. I enjoyed the tag team fight. But the final 2 matches didn't really do anything for me or register any excitement from yours truly. So I could give this 7 out of 10. And mainly the reason why I'm doing it is because of the first 2 things were so goddamn good. Anthony, it's yours.
In my opinion, you know what they should have done? I know they want to make Rampage a 3-match show and everything else. But for this night, you should have cut the last 2 matches. You should have taken the last 2 matches out. Save them for like a Dynamite or something. Well, what we saw with the women's match, that was more like something you would see on Dark or Dark Elevation or something like that. That's where that match belonged. And I can say the same thing about the other too, or maybe a Dynamite, for goodness sakes. I don't know, but to me, it should have been all about CM Punk in that tag team match. If you had done just that, and if you had given the Private Party and the Jurassic and the Lucha Express, or Jurassic Express, or whatever you call it, I mean, I still get a brain fart as to what their proper name is. But then again, you can't blame me after what we saw tonight. But if it had been just the Punk moment and that tag team match, this would have been a perfect 10, hands down. But those last 2 matches really bumped the show down to a 7 out of 10. With the return of CM Punk and that tag team match, that's what gives this episode of Rampage the positive rating. But in all seriousness, with CM Punk, though, when it comes to the CM Punk moment, the lucky fans who were there live, they'll remember this for the rest of their lives. They're not only taking home an ice cream bar, for goodness sakes, they're going to be taking home a memory that's going to live in their minds for however long they live. And I can only imagine. I mean, if you thought the pop was loud on television, just imagine how loud it was in the arena itself. If we had been there, could you imagine how that would have been? We probably would be deaf right about now. Oh my word. But nonetheless, 7 out of 10. I agree with MF. Bullock, what they should have done tonight was the Punk match and the tag match. The other 2 matches had no business on the show tonight.
Yeah, if they had just done the promo and the the CM Punk promo and the tag team match, it would have been a perfect 10. Because, like you said, those two matches, the last two, had no business being on TV. No way. That's something you would see on Dark or Dark Revelation. But on Rampage, no. If those last two matches didn't happen, this would have been a perfect 10. But because of those last two, I agree. It's a 7 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's quickly move on to our preview of SummerSlam.
All right, guys, and we are going to do it. The preview of SummerSlam, it's here. It's now. It is going down tomorrow. It's going to be going down tomorrow night. Well, we are past the midnight hour, so it's going down tonight, live from Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada, in the suburbs of Las Vegas. And here we go. The fight card. Starting off, we got is well, we'll do it. We'll do it here. So, Raw Tag Team titles on the line. Omos and AJ Styles versus RK Bro, Randy Orton and Riddle. I think it's gonna be AJ and Riddle. I mean, Randy and Riddle. I think they're gonna do it. I know, Anthony, you've been talking about it. So just give me a quick thought, but I think we're gonna have new tag team champions.
There could be no more pointless result than Styles and Omos retaining. They're a great tag team, but the long build to Orton finally embracing Riddle as a true friend needs to have the payoff of them winning the tag titles. The result can make for one of the loudest reactions of the night. I 100% agree. Winners and new Raw Tag Team Champions, Team RK Bro. And I'll even give you the bold prediction like I gave you the other night. I believe Randy Orton's going to RKO Omos and give us the greatest RKO he's ever done. Michael Bullock, all yours.
Yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous here. I got Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, winning and becoming the new Raw Tag Team Champions. So, nothing else to say. Fletch, let's move on.
This one's going to be short, sweet, and straight to the point. Eva Marie, one-on-one against Alexa Bliss. Anthony?
Oh, who do I have? Alexa. I mean, it's not going to make any sense. This is not going to make any sense. You know the whole shtick. So
yeah,
this is very likely going to be the worst fight of the night. If it gets anything above a dud, I'll be shocked. But I'm calling this to be a dud and the worst fight of the night, and Alexa's going to win it. So not much more to say. Bullock.
Alexa Bliss, and I agree. This is going to be dud and worst fight of the night. Fletch, it's yours.
Alexa, easy. Next up, Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got Drew McIntyre winning this one. I mean, I feel bad for Drew McIntyre. I mean, I know that they were going to keep him out of the title picture, but to have him against someone like Jinder Mahal, I think is, I don't know. I mean, but either way, I got Drew McIntyre winning this. Fletch, it's yours.
I actually don't have a problem with Drew being in the mid card more than anything else, because he's one step away from being once again in the main event picture. But I think the best thing that they could have done was to keep him away from being in the title hunt, because of the fact that I think a lot of people would have turned on McIntyre, and I think WWE is doing the right thing by keeping him out of the world title picture. But anyway, Drew wins. Nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, it's going to be Drew. I mean, post-championship, McIntyre has been a bit of a mess. His rambling promos with history lessons were a disaster, and now he's constantly threatening to stab people with his sword. Veer and Shanky barred from ringside. Yeah, it's Drew. No doubt about it. So Drew McIntyre wins, and next match.
Next up is Damian Priest versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. I got Damian Priest winning the belt. Damian Priest should be walking out of here the new United States Heavyweight Champion. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Agreed. Sheamus was one of the men who really thrived during the Thunderdome era, not because of the lack of a crowd, but because he got the opportunity to remind everyone how good he is. His U.S. title run has been a bit hit or miss, but WWE often seems to struggle to figure out what to do with someone once they win a belt. it's Damian Priest's turn with the belt now, something he deserves after doing a good job of helping carry the Bad Bunny match to an impressive degree of success at WrestleMania. Winner and new United States Heavyweight Champion, the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest. Michael Bullock, are we going to make this unanimous?
Yes, I'm going to make it unanimous. Winner and new United States Champion, Damian Priest. Fletch, it's yours.
One of the more highly anticipated matches of the SummerSlam card. One that I know us three were saying maybe a fight of the night candidate. Edge goes one-on-one with Seth Rollins. Anthony.
Very tough to call. Very, very tough. I could probably say this is the toughest match to call. I think this now, I mean, after what happened at the end of tonight's show, I think this now became the toughest match to call right here. Edge's place on the roster is not one where wins matter. He's a special attraction who can deliver a compelling story ahead of big matches. Rollins is still a guy who sits in WWE's back pocket as an anytime title challenger. That said, Rollins versus Reigns doesn't really work in the current landscape, with both serving as the top heels on SmackDown. Knowing that Rollins winning has less value with Reigns on top, it suggests maybe an Edge win is the way to go. So I'll take a chance here. I could go with Edge here, but then again, he got the last word, especially that Brood bloodbath there. Rollins might be pissed, and that could lead to a Rollins win. I mean, if Rollins wins, I would not at all be surprised, but I'm going to go with my gut and say Edge wins this one. But Bullock, as we always like to say, if Rollins wins, I would not at all be surprised here. So, but I think what we all can agree on, gentlemen, is I think we're going to be calling the Vegas PD because these boys are going to steal the dang show. Amen?
Amen to that. I mean, it's tough to call, but I am going to go with Edge here to win this one. But I would not be surprised to see Seth Rollins go over, especially after what we saw tonight. Fletch, I mean, are you going to pull the trigger and say Seth Rollins wins, or are we going to make it unanimous?
No, I'm pretty sure I'll go with Edge. I think because if they're gonna do this Brood Edge style, I mean, I can see him get the big win here. So yeah, there's no doubt about it. So I'll go with it. I got really nothing more to add, and I'm gonna go with the next one. So next up we have here, it's gonna be Bianca Belaire versus Sasha Banks. Apparently the match is indeed official now. So it is happening. Bianca versus Sasha. Mike Bullock. Yeah, it goes to Bullock. So Bullock, it's yours.
So we can confirm it now, Fletch.
We can confirm it. Yes.
So did you hear it like moments ago?
A short while ago, but yeah, I'm still going off what Anthony was saying. That as of now the match is good, so I'm going off that. You know, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything else as of now. So as of right now, the match is on.
All right. So yeah, and I know you said, Fletch, you've heard some people are saying that they are not impressed with Bianca Belaire's run with the title. Correct?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you could say that, but I mean, look, you can't poo-poo all over her. It's not like it's her damn fault because she's basically doing the best she can, and I think this is going to be her toughest challenge to date. I mean, going up against Sasha Banks in the rematch from WrestleMania. Could it be even better? Probably. I still think it could be good, but I don't think anything is gonna top what these two women did at WrestleMania. So I'm going to say it, winner and still the SmackDown Women's Champion, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belaire. Fletch, it's yours.
You know what? I'm going to go as far as say it. I'm going to pull the trigger. I say new champion. I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to get a double turn. I think Bianca is going to lose her shit after losing this belt, and you're going to see a heel Bianca Belaire and Sasha. And from what I know, the majority of fans are actually pulling for Sasha to win the title. So actually, I think we're going to get a double turn at SummerSlam. I think Sasha will win the crowd, and I think Bianca will will get whatever she wants. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I'm taking a big chance here, saying the winner and new champion, Sasha Banks. Anthony, it's yours.
Well, that'd be news to me if that happened. But I'm sorry, MF. I got to go with Bullock on this one. I got to go with the EST here. I mean, the one guarantee here is that the match is going to be outstanding. Bellaire and Banks proved their elite level skills meshed perfectly at WrestleMania. Having even more experience working together can only serve to make the rematch even better. Banks winning the title back only makes sense if you're going for 50-50 booking, which WWE often does. I'll give you that. Still, Bellaire retaining makes sense as long as WWE believes they can find interesting new challenges for her and not keep running Carmella and Zelina Vega out week after week. So I'm gonna go with Bullock. I'm gonna say Bianca Belair retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. That was my pick all along. But hey, if Sasha were to win and that happens, well, all the credit to UMF on that. So we'll see what happens. But for right now, I got to go with the EST. It's been her year. So her and Deonna Purrazzo are the two best women's wrestlers in the world right now. They're neck and neck for my Female Wrestler of the Year award. So move on.
SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line. The Usos versus the Mysterios. I'm going with Usos. I think that we're about to see an implosion with the Mysterio family. Usos win it. Florio is yours.
Yeah, it's going to be the Usos here, no doubt about it. And yes, I agree. I'll even throw in some fun flavor content for MF here. The tension with the Mysterios. I mean, and I think with the tension that we've seen, that's been building and building and building and building, and I think it's going to culminate there. It's a shame that the Usos almost lost steam when they won the titles. The intrigue of the family drama really died when the Usos and Roman all got on the same page. It doesn't help that the Rey and Dominic rivalry has mostly seemed to serve Reigns' story more than build anything meaningful for the teams involved. So yes, winners and still SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, and Michael Bullock. I think we're going to get the implosion of the Mysterios.
Yeah, I think we're going to get that too, no doubt about it. Winners and still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. Fletch, it's yours.
Raw Women's title on the line. Nikki ASH puts the title on the line against both Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Anthony, it's yours.
Nikki ASH doesn't feel like a longtime champion. Her Money in the Bank cash-in was a nice moment, but the almost a superhero gimmick is not exactly setting the world on fire. And when it fully runs out of steam, it's going to get bad quickly. Rhea Ripley struggled as champion, not quite seeming ready to run with that ball quite yet, though she clearly will be as she gets more main roster experience. It may not make fans happy, but Charlotte Flair is still the top of the heap on the Raw side. And she just may be the most reasonable pick to leave SummerSlam with the championship. And even though my gut's telling me to go with Charlotte, I got this weird feeling that they're gonna want to keep the title on Nikki ASH a little longer. So I'm gonna take a big chance here. I'm not gonna listen to my gut here. I'm gonna go with my heart on this one. I think despite everything, I think Nikki ASH is still gonna walk out the Raw Women's Champion. And we all know her biggest critic, obviously, Derek Ferreira. If you've seen his rant videos as of late, but don't want to get too much into that. But for right now, I'm going to take a big chance here. Like MF took that big chance a little while ago. I'm going to take the big chance here. Winner and still the Raw Women's Champion, Nikki ASH. But if Charlotte were to win it, I would not at all be surprised. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on all this?
I mean, I'm with you on all that, and the right pick is the obvious pick is to go with Charlotte Flair, but I'm with Floria. I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with Nikki ASH. I mean, obviously they want. I mean, this is her chance to prove her critics wrong, especially one Derek Ferreira, who's been calling her names that I'm not even gonna dignify what he said. So I'm gonna say it. Winner and still Raw Women's Champion, Nikki ASH. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Going into this, I kind of was on the fence about it, but now more than ever, I kind of feel like it's Nikki's time. They're building a little bit of a brand around her. They're building something with her. She's doing all these challenges. She actually just did a challenge for the Special Olympics. And I kind of feel like they're turning her into a role model, being, for the kids, for those type of opportunities. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say it, winner and still the Raw Women's Champion, Nikki ASH. So I think she's gonna win it. Next, we got is the WWE Championship on the line. The champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley versus Bill Goldberg. I believe this goes to Anthony. Oh, actually, no. Who it goes to? Because actually, Bullock was the last guy to end it. So we went back to the main event. Actually, no, I ended it. So it goes to Mike Bullock. Bullock, it's yours. WWE title match.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Bobby Lashley has been a dominant champion, and he wants to go up against someone. Obviously, they want him to face someone tough like Goldberg, but to me, as much as I want to see Goldberg win it, I think the obvious choice is to go with Bobby Lashley. I mean, he's been on an absolute roll, and he's been a dominant champion. I think the right move is to keep the title on him. And the IWC is going to go nuts, and not in a good way, if they put the title on Goldberg. So,
yeah.
Winner and still WWE champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Fletch, it's yours.
Lashley wins this match. Lashley wins the title. I think it would be a major mistake if they put it on Bill Goldberg. I've been very critical about it. I think it's best that they do it this way. So yes, I agree with you. Winner, new, and still WWE champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Anthony, it's yours.
It's the almighty, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lashley wins this match decisively, like what we saw with Kofi Kingston last month, only in shorter time, and almost like what we saw with Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. I mean, we all remember how short that fight was, but then again, you never know with WWE. I mean, they put him over the Fiend, for goodness sakes, in Saudi Arabia.
True.
So I am a little worried. I mean, me personally, I want Lashley to continue on as champion. I mean, God forbid if Goldberg wins the title. I mean, you thought MF was pissed about the whole Kyra Hogan thing tonight? You're going to really have to hold MF back if Bill Goldberg wins the title tomorrow night. Word of warning. But for right now, I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley to win. But God forbid Bill Goldberg wins. Oh, boy, all hell's going to break loose, and that's not going to be fun. So, main event time, MF. And unfortunately, oh, boy, what a drop this took tonight. What a damn shame.
John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. I gotta say it. I got Roman Reigns. Even going into it, I had Roman, but now more than ever, this confirms it right before our very eyes. So there's really nothing more to add. Anthony, it's yours.
Yes. What else is there to say? I mean, Cena's here for a minute, trying to pop a few ratings and also getting the benefit of doing a little promotion for F9 and the Suicide Squad. What he is not here for, however, is to become Universal Champion. Where Goldberg could conceivably beat Lashley, because that's just kind of the tune WWE plays with Goldberg. But there's a bigger story being old with Reigns, and a short-term title flip to Cena just doesn't fit. I mean, it would be an awesome moment to see Cena get number 17. But after that moment that Roman said, if I lose, I leave WWE. The minute you heard that, the outcome, they just gave away the damn outcome. And what a damn shame, because had you not done that, I could have been flipping back and forth on this. But nope, you just made it easy for us. Thanks. Winner and still the Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Bullock, take this home.
Yeah, before this, I was going to go back and forth on this, and part of me was thinking maybe they were going to do it. Maybe they were going to have John Cena break the record, but after WWE dropped it tonight, I think it's the obvious choice. Roman Reigns retains the Universal title, so yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's quickly move on to Takeover 36.
Like you said, it's going to be very quickly. First off, we're going to do is the battle for the $1 million belt. Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. If Grimes loses the match, then Ted DiBiase must become LA Knight's butler. That's not happening. We're going to get a new champion. Cameron Grimes will realize his dream. He will finally be with the nickel and dimes and the diamonds and everything else. Winner and new $1 million champion, Cameron Grimes. Anthony.
Agreed. I even call it. I mean, it's going to be a recreation of when Virgil took that same title from the $1 Million Man 30 years ago in Madison Square Garden, SummerSlam 91. The stipulation, like the match said, DiBiase has to become the butler if he loses. Grimes has previously lost twice against Knight. Title was reintroduced for the first time in more than a decade. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, saving DiBiase from having to be Knight's butler is the only finish that makes sense here. So winner and new $1 million champion Cameron Grimes and Michael Bullock. I think we're going to get a recreation of Virgil 30 years ago.
Yeah, this is a recreation of what we saw 30 years ago, and yeah, the obvious choice is the winner and new $1 million champion Cameron Grimes. There's really nothing more to add to it, so let's move right along.
Next up we have is Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's title. Anthony, it's yours.
Very tough to call, honest to goodness. But right now, I got to go with the Chiquita, man. I got to go with Raquel Gonzalez. I mean, Kai, even though Dakota Kai has really come into her own as a character during this feud, her performances have been stellar. She would be a great champion, absolutely. But Gonzalez, who has improved greatly, would benefit from an extended program with Dakota. And Dakota has wrestled multiple dark matches at main roster shows in recent weeks. And who knows? Maybe it could lead to Dakota Kai being called up to Raw or SmackDown. And if that's the case, then you got to go with Raquel. So winner and still the NXT Women's Champion, the Chiquita, Raquel Gonzalez, Michael Bullock. You got a diamond in the rough here, man. Bullock, it's yours. I
forgot. I forgot to mute. I forgot to unmute my mic. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing more for me to say. I mean, obviously, I got to, like you said, the diamond in a rough with Raquel Gonzalez. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense to put the title on Raquel because I mean on Dakota Kai. I mean, the thing is, she's on an absolute roll, Raquel Gonzalez. So to me, I'm going with the Chiquita, Raquel Gonzalez to retain the title. So Fletch, it's yours.
Agreed. Raquel wins it, no doubt about it. Next up, we have the reason why I gave this to Michael Bullock. This could be the fight of the night. So it is the 2 out of 3 falls. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. First fall, traditional wrestling match. Second fall, a street fight. If it goes to a third and final fall, it's going to the cage. Mike Bullock, oh my goodness, what a way to end one of the greatest rivalries in wrestling.
Oh yeah, this has been without a shadow of a doubt the greatest rivalry that we have seen in professional wrestling. I mean, the back and forth between these two has been absolutely spot on, no doubt about it. I mean, everything we've seen from them, it's like I said, it's just spot on between these guys, and it all comes to a head at Takeover. And you know what? I think this is going to go the distance. I think this is going to go the full 3 falls here. It's a tough call, but I mean, with the rumors regarding the future of Adam Cole, to me, I'm gonna go with Kyle O'Reilly to win this and end what has been to me one of the greatest rivalries that we have seen, not just in NXT, but in professional wrestling overall. So Kyle O'Reilly wins it. It's going the distance. Fletch, it's yours.
The bad blood's been so bad, and it needs to come to an end. What a way to end it in 2 out of 3 falls. I'm with you, Michael Bullock. I totally agree with this. Winner is Kyle O'Reilly. This is going the full 3. It's going to end in the cage. Dear God, this is going to be a fight to remember. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, Adam Cole's contractual status, that's the element of uncertainty within NXT right now. His contract with WWE is up after this takeover, and it's unknown whether he's going to stay with the company. But whether Cole re-signs with WWE or goes somewhere else, this should be his last match in NXT. He's been the brand's biggest star since debuting in 2017. He's got the charisma and in-ring abilities to succeed wherever he goes. Cole is good enough to be headlining WrestleManias. He should lose to his former stablemate O'Reilly here before moving on to his next chapter. They'll both ideally be able to use the different stipulations in this match to make each part of it feel unique. With this being the final match in their feud, it will be one of the highlights of this event Sunday night. Kyle O'Reilly wins, and wherever Adam Cole goes, I mean, if he doesn't sign with WWE, he's got a pretty little thing waiting for him down in AEW, if you know what I mean. So, not much more to say.
And there's also a personal vendetta because of the fact that supposedly the Young Bucks killed him. So,
yes.
Yeah. That harkens back to the days of Ring of Honor when they kicked him out of the Bullet Club by super kicking him to death. And that's the funny ha nod nod wink wink moment that we had. But if Adam Cole does decide to show up, I'll say this. Matt, Nick, remember that ghost that haunted you for about a couple of years? He's back. He's not dead. So, yeah. Anyway, next up we have Ilya Draganov going up against Walter for the United Kingdom Championship. Okay, I've been on the fence about this one for a while. I think we're going to see a new champion. I think it's about to happen. I think the longest reign in professional wrestling is about to come to an end. My prediction, the winner and new United Kingdom champion, Ilya Dragunov. I predict that he wins the title. Anthony, it's yours.
Right there with you, man. I mean, Walter Ilya Dragunov is a rematch of WWE's best match of 2020. They're two of the absolute best wrestlers in the world and have such incredible chemistry together. Expectations are so outrageously high after their previous bout, but if anyone is capable of living up to those expectations, it's Walter and Dragunov. It'd be a bit disappointing if they don't have another classic. Walter has held the NXT United Kingdom Championship since April 6th of 2019, and come Sunday night, his reign will stand at 869 days. Wow. With such a long and dominant title reign, it's vital that the right person is chosen when it's time to end it. I can say the same thing on the main roster with Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. But when it comes to this, Ilya Dragunov is that guy. Dragunov's redemption story since losing to Walter last year should culminate with him winning the NXT United Kingdom title on Sunday night. So, winner and new NXT UK champion, Ilya Dragunov. Michael Bullock, here's the match. Here's another one that could easily steal the dang show here.
Oh yeah, this match could definitely steal the damn show, no doubt about it. I mean, yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, I definitely see this going down. Winner and new NXT UK champion Ilya Dragunov. I think it's his time. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move on.
And we go into the main event of the evening, as it will be Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross for the NXT title. Anthony, it's yours.
Samoa Joe's road to this title match has been an unusual one. 4 years after his initial run in NXT, he's now back on the brand and looking to become the first ever 3-time champion. Joe is returning to the ring for the first time since February 2020. While out of action with concussion issues, Joe spent time as a color commentator on Monday Night Raw before being released by WWE in April. Joe wasn't gone long, returning to WWE back in June as part of NXT. He was an on-screen authority figure. He was the enforcer for Mr. Regal before his problems with Cross set the stage for this bout. Joe is one of the best wrestlers of his era, and it's so good to see him back in the ring after he wasn't able to wrestle for so long. It's hard to know what to expect from Joe after such a long layoff, but his style should mess well with Cross's. The match should seem more like a fight than usual NXT title matches, with Cross likely to join the main roster, mainly Monday Night Raw, on a full-time basis after this. Joe's winning the title here is the obvious outcome. So, winner, and once again, NXT champion, the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. Michael Bullock, Samoa Joe, I believe, is going to three-peat. What says you?
I'm with you, Florio. I say Joe's going to three-peat. So, winner and new NXT champion, Samoa Joe. And what's he going to do it with, Florio?
Our favorite submission move in the whole world, the Coquita Clutch.
Oh man, it's been a while since we've heard that, the Coquita Clutch. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours. I think we're getting a new champion.
Agreed. New champion, Samoa Joe. And now close the show. So tomorrow night, we will recap SummerSlam. On Sunday night, we recap NXT. Monday, we do it all over again with a brand new Ridiculously Raw hosted by Anthony Florio. You know the routine: Raw, 205 Live, Impact Wrestling, and then we're just going to go through our normal routine. So Wednesday is Wednesday Night Mayhem. Thursday, Strictly Sports. Yes, it's going to be the big three, but more importantly, the preview of college football and the NFL.
And there's one more thing. And one more thing we're going to add to that docket, the retirement of Henrik Lundqvist. I think he deserves a moment.
We shall do that. And then 1 week from tonight, we do it all over again with the Cerebral Smack Talk. And this time, please note the time change, guys. We're now going to do it at 11 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do it from now on at 11 p.m. We are adding Rampage to our docket. So it's a 2-show docket on that as well. So until then, for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night.